was going on.
In the halls where the whispers gather, conservative minds debate the future. From tax cuts to border walls, strategies clash like a political rally. Frustration brews in the chambers. As always, meet new challenges. Dissenting voices rise up, seeking unity, but finding divides. We stand strong, we stand tall. In this party, our spirit will not fall. Though the path is rocky and long, we march forward with hearts full of song.
All right, here we are.
Great
The
hook.
Rebel
Great
Republic. What is that?
I don't know.
What are you playing? Oh, I'm sorry. That's me. I'm sorry.
That's you?
Yes, it was because I wanted to there was a comment that I promised that I would read that had to do with us. But Rebel Republic, we are the top conservative political talk show in all of Massachusetts, in all of Connecticut, in all of Rhode Island, Delaware, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Maine, New Jersey, New York. It doesn't. You're either with us or you're against us. I'm your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. To my left is the voice of reason himself, Frank Cristiano.
What are you in a cave? Why are you whispering?
Because I'm being powerful.
Yeah, that's what yeah, normally the powerful people, they whisper. That's what I heard.
And then we have Coach Schumann, who success, it's a process. It takes one day at a time. Is that what it says, Dave?
Step-by-step process.
It's a step-by-step process. And, you're doing it. And I give you so much credit for that. And I wish I was able to do it. And maybe one day I will. But we have a lot going on, a lot to discuss. And it all starts in the Ukraine.
Okay.
Which is not being reported by any of the United States media, which is outrageous. And I wonder why. Several law enforcement agencies were lambasted by a parliamentary commission for failing to investigate their employees' alleged involvement in a large-scale corruption scheme in Ukraine. A nuclear power company, Energoatom. I can't say it. Sorry. The alleged ringleader is Timur Mindush, a close associate of President Zelensky. Law enforcement officials are being investigated for allegedly aiding suspects in a corruption scheme of embezzlement of close to $100 million. $100 million.
So in layman's terms, it's basically this.
$1 million. $100 million.
Several Ukrainian politicians were extorting certain groups to be able to get that money that's coming over from the United States that they so desperately need to continue this war.
Yes. Oh, we need you.
And they're funneling it into their pockets. And they have real close associations with President Zelensky. So now all this does is reinforce the thought process that we had months ago, that Zelensky realistically is there to line his pockets along with his friends while this war goes on. And that's why he's begging for money. Not that he needs it to be able to continue some long-term warfare against the Soviet Union.
But I never thought that he wanted this war to continue on. He wanted to be part of NATO.
Yeah.
he knew
Which he knew that was never going to happen.
but he knew he could never defeat Russia in a war.
Well, here's the thing: they're not
And they fought.
They're still fighting.
Yeah.
There's no clear winner or loser. There's some land that's been taken over, but bottom line, this has been a land and air war. It's been a war of attrition. It's been a war of drones. It's new technology now that's being used to create warfare. I just think that you have to realize that at this point right now, I don't think Zelensky himself is looking good. I don't think that whole government of Ukraine is looking good because they're taking our money and they're burning it by giving it to politicians who are funneling it into their own pockets. How can you explain and justify that we're going to keep sending money over? You don't think this gets back to the White House? I'm sure it'll get back to the White House. This gets back to the White House. Trump and those guys are going to be like, that's okay. Keep sending money. I think it's okay. No, he wasn't going to send it to him in the beginning.
Well, I can't believe that Ukraine is very strict. I can't believe they managed to investigate themselves and catch themselves in this.
Well, they
going
didn't. They
didn't?
No, they did, but they didn't.
It's federal law enforcement agencies.
Law enforcement, right? And what does that mean? That's Interpol.
Oh, it's not.
Could be the
okay.
FBI. It could be,
Okay.
No, it's not going to be. They're not going to report themselves, please.
Okay. I just wanted to say we got a comment from Jose who said that you and I are built to sit here and never get up. We were made for this. And he said that the air looks sour over here. And I invited him to come on the show.
And this was Jose.
Yeah, I told him that I would mention him.
Did you tell him to lay low for the next couple of months because ICE is out looking for him?
And yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah.
And he wanted to know how long you and I had been together.
Yeah.
And then he sent me a picture of this of Trump kissing someone.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a great pic.
And then the other comment we got was about Mamdani.
Yeah.
Because of the transit comment we made, how it was denied.
Sure.
People have questioned us and our factual information.
Where do we get our information from?
Well, they're saying that Mamdani hasn't been sworn in yet.
Doesn't matter.
How could he have been denied?
He's been denied because this information comes directly from the governor's office. The governor
Hochul said
denied.
no.
Yes, Kathy Hochul has denied the request.
But how is they say how has the request come in when he is not even sworn in?
She said that she's not going to approve it. Period.
Exactly.
Oh, she did.
He's been promoting this fact of free buses, free transit for months in his campaign. So this isn't anything new. And she finally responded to those claims that transit's going to be free in New York City. And although as scary as she is in life, she's not crazy.
No,
she knows that you can't do that. It does not work. When will people wake up? I understand some of your situations are dire and are tough in the city, in larger cities. I was in Boston this weekend. Same thing. Why are you changing me up again?
Oh, I was just lowering you a little.
I was in Boston this weekend. And bottom line, it's a beautiful city. Tons of people. Well, in large cities like that, the cost of just getting like a 2-bedroom apartment is $3,500 to $4,000 a month.
Are you serious?
Yeah, anywhere. So why? You don't think New York City is the same? It's $3,500.
$3,500?
Yeah, to $4,000 a month to get a 2-bedroom apartment.
A month?
2-bedroom apartment.
Oh, well, that's
But that was why I used the statement: "Will America ever be affordable again?" Because
that's outrageous.
One of the things that is a
that's
concern, especially for young people, and if I don't know if you noticed, but like there's like talks of Mexico having the young people are revolting. There's like I don't know if you saw the video, and then Indonesia, I think, and then in other countries. Usually corrupt governments for the most part, but they're actually, Mexico, which is driven mostly by the cartel, they're actually rebelling against them, which is actually amazing in the sense that, some of them are really obviously a lot of they're willing to take their lives into their hands. You know what I mean? To do it. Same thing in Indonesia, which is ruled by, these are huge countries, obviously population wise. But the people are not able to get basic things done. Corruption's but part of it. Now in America, it's different. America, it's more, to me, there is an issue as far as affordability and how that gets solved is not so easily.
Well, people commented frequently on Frank's comments last week about his business, how he has to raise the cost of paying employees, which in turn raises the cost of his prices. He says one, goes with the other. That's just how it works. They want to get paid $20 an hour in a competitive wage, and the price of his products has to go up to be able to afford it.
The biggest issue is that land, you can't make more land, right?
No, it is. You absolutely can't.
So unless you're from a situation wise, like where I live, for example, there's not many more room to make resident, single family homes, which is really the best thing you could have. And you have more and more of things where people are stacked on top of each other and they're costly. And
I have a friend doing that. I think I told you, Razul Wallace. He does real estate. He got approval to build a 54-unit apartment complex in Norwich, Connecticut. It's going to be a combination of affordable housing and non-affordable housing. He's going to use the non-affordable housing to pay for the affordable housing, and it's going through the civil engineers and all that process.
Yeah, but that's also an issue. That's an issue too, there, right? So that drives up.
It does.
People, yeah, of course. So
so that's bad.
Well, it's not bad, or it's not bad or good. It drives up prices in general. So, for example, every town in New Jersey, you have to have a certain level of affordable housing, right?
Right. Yes.
But it's not like the builder is going to eat that cost. He's not eating it. He's going to charge everybody else more.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's kind of how it's
affordable housing is unaffordable for the people who can't afford it anyway.
Oh,
and yeah.
So his plan really was bad.
What's the affordable housing going to look like compared to the unaffordable housing?
Well, he's trying to keep it under $1,000 a month.
Will they have toilets in the unaffordable housing? Under $1,000 a month would be a great idea.
He wants to keep it at like $800 a month.
$800 a month is great, but that's a crack then.
Well, in Norwich, Connecticut, yeah, it probably is.
Because I guess. So how's he going to fund all this? Is he getting grants?
He's applied for grants. Yes.
They're going to charge the other houses that are not affordable housing more.
Yes. Right. Yes. That's kind of how he explained it.
Which raises the price of housing.
So it's really not a good thing. Huh.
I'm not saying affordable housing isn't a good thing. I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. I'm saying
the plan is not great. Because it's going to end up
people pay for another group of people. That's not good.
Well, I think what needs to happen is, I'm not for government control whatsoever, but the government needs to step in and create affordable housing.
Well,
so the government can come in and actually give itself the grant because it's issuing the grant. So you're going to keep your own money in house. The government can sub out to contractors and try to get the best price available.
And they've traditionally done a bad job of that.
Well, yeah, true. So the government needs to be regulated by someone else besides the government. But bottom line is, because they're the only ones that can afford to build it and not worry about taking a profit. The government could survive if they just built them and broke even. 100%. They're not losing any money. So maybe a government infused housing development could go for $800 or $1,000 a month because they only need to pay themselves back the principal with no interest. They don't need interest.
Well, and then the question is, but that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is, how is the cost of overall housing? What would enable? It's not going to come down, but what would enable it to be more affordable because of the fact that there isn't more land that can be produced, and the majority of
land they did get a deal on the land. From what he said.
So I'm not talking about this particular stuff. I'm talking about in general. So, most of the country, people don't live in most of the country.
No.
Most of the country is very uninhabited, and for whatever reason.
Well, what would you say like an average mortgage is?
I think unfortunately what has to happen is that people have to be willing to live outside of the major metropolitan areas.
Correct.
Well,
And
yeah. I mean, there's no way to afford it.
That's what I think has to happen. And I don't think I think a lot of people, there's a migration to the cities over the last 30 to 40 years, and that migration is not sustainable.
Not sustainable at all.
Right, Madami's the great thing about Madami is, of course, everybody to beyond the suburbs, and then the suburbs people will be forced somewhere else, and then so on and so forth. But and then
people are leaving the city in droves.
Right? But they're driving up the prices in like Florida, for example, right? So,
correct. Because
it's not like they don't move to Montana, or
no.
Bozeman, for example, or they don't move to Iowa, or they don't move to
Wisconsin.
So,
Well, I think the jobs is a factor on where you're going to move to.
Of course.
So a lot of the major cities are the ones that are going to have more job opportunities just because of the action that goes on there. So maybe working from home was not a bad idea. Maybe everyone needs to work from home, because then you can go find affordable housing. You can live in Utah and work for a company based out of New York City.
But is it worth like an hour commute to the city if you live outside the city?
Most people are doing that right now. I drove out of Boston at 6 o'clock in the morning, and my shot out from Boston was no cars whatsoever. I look on the opposite side of the highway of I-90 coming into Boston, and it's probably a 45-minute traffic.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
Everyone's coming into work to Boston from outside the area.
It's an absolute
because nightmare. You know why? I mean, I talked to Uber drivers when I was there. I talked to people who work at the restaurants. It's unaffordable. There's no way they can live in the city itself. They have to live in the suburbs somewhere.
Dave, what would you say an average mortgage would cost if you were doing it by the country?
I just saw something that was like $400,000, the average home price, which.
So, and Trump mentioned something about a 50-year mortgage they may offer.
So
I think
Trump
that's
is talking
crazy.
about a portable mortgage, which would be phenomenal. Okay. Which means that if Frank owns his house, okay, and Frank wants to go and he got whatever rate he got, I don't know what his percentage, let's say whatever his percentage is. He could then take that mortgage, sell his house, go to a new house, buy that new house, and keep the same mortgage rate that he had. That's what Trump is trying to get approved, a portable mortgage, which I think is a great idea, because that will allow people
that would be huge,
who don't want to pay the extreme the rates that are out right now. Why would you want to pay this rate if you pay 3 or 4% less when you got your house? So you're not going to sell your house. So in order to get the market moving, give them a portable mortgage. So people who are thinking, hey, I'd like to live somewhere else, better, bigger, smaller, whatever it is, but I don't want to pay the higher rate. This will allow them to keep the rate that they originally had at their current mortgage and move that to the new mortgage.
But I also read a report about a 50-year mortgage that they were trying.
I did see something on that. Yes, I mean,
isn't that insane?
I think it's a great idea. I think,
a great idea.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't know that I would do a 50-year mortgage, but I'm saying I think it's a great idea in the sense that you could create more mobility.
You don't live 50 years.
Who cares?
By the time you buy a house, I mean, you're in your 20s, mid-20s.
50 years, the interest alone, you've already paid way more than what that house.
That's what they showed. Yeah, they showed the interest would be ridiculous if you did a 50-year mortgage compared to a 30-year mortgage, which most people do now. Yeah. So when I saw the difference, I was like, why the hell would you do it?
They're saying 1/4% to 3/4% more. Well, the thing is that there is a flexibility option in that. I mean, you could, in 50 years, hopefully you'll accumulate the wealth over time to pay that off.
So you can, okay.
But I mean, it's a long, that could be the same as the 30 though. but it also allows you, like you said, at a fixed rate, allows you to transfer it over to something else too. I know Larry Kudlow's a smart dude, and he doesn't like it at all, 50-year mortgage, but there's advantages to it.
So if you
I
sign
think
up
he
for,
doesn't like it because he probably feels like people will just be getting mortgages all over the place.
Yeah, possibly, or they'll just be stuck paying it for the rest of their lives. They'll never have anything paid off.
but if you sign up for a
I
50-year
agree with that
mortgage
too.
and you know, Uncle Dan dies and you come into money and you want to pay $100,000 off, can you do that for your mortgage? Can you say, I want to pay $100,000?
Yeah, some are open ended. Depends, as long as your mortgage is open ended. Yes, you could come in and pay the whole thing off anytime.
Or but if you paid the $100,000, would it lower your monthly payments?
Well, no, it would lower your principal.
Oh, but
You
it would
put all
not
the
lower
money-
the monthly payments.
Well, it all depends how far along you are. Everything's a time constrictive thing with mortgages.
Okay.
But I thought you just wanted to talk about paying the whole thing off with $100,000.
No. I was just wondering if it would lower it.
Well, it should, because you're paying down on the principal.
Right.
So now let's say you had a 6% interest loan, and you had $200,000 at 6%. It's X amount of dollars.
Correct.
Now all of a sudden you put $100,000 down. Now you got 6% at $100,000. So obviously it's going to lower the payment.
Okay.
Monthly.
Okay. So I thought that was good. The other thing I wanted to mention was Trump's would-be assassin, Mr. Thomas Crooks.
Yeah.
He told a different story than the FBI's congressional statements about the 20-year-old New York Post columnist Miranda Devane told America Reports on Monday. We were sort of led to believe that Thomas Crooks was really a ghost and that there was no motive that could be ascertained from his online accounts. And yet a source has provided us with a lot of information that he had 17 different online accounts that they were protected. And on Monday, she demanded a better explanation from the FBI and Secret Service about what led to Crooks to attempt to assassinate Trump over a year ago in Butler, PA, because he fired 8 shots from a rooftop, and they really tried covering it up. They tried to make it seem like just it was a one-time thing. He was acting alone, and nothing came from it.
I'm
blown away by that.
I have liberal friends that think that they're still saying, well, I don't see the scar on Trump's ear. I have friends that say he didn't get shot.
Yeah, it was all AI.
He didn't get shot, but the guy in the crowd got shot and died. But Trump didn't.
No, exactly. That's what I can't believe.
So you're telling me Trump asked a 20-year-old, "Hey, listen, come as close as you can to me.
Yes,
yeah. Don't kill me."
Right.
Yeah, I'm
make
sure
me a martyr.
That's what he wanted to take. That's the risk of it. People they've bought into, and especially my buddy uses AI to get all his information. He uses ChatGPT to get all his information like that.
So does Dave, but
who inputs that information? It's just really sucking up information from
it is
media reports and news agencies.
They have to run.
So bottom line, it's still the same people writing the same information. So if they want to have you believe conspiracy theory, they can pop that in the right way, and you're going to believe it. And that's what's happening. People don't take things for facts. The guy got shot. The kid that got shot, right? Dead. Next thing you know, can't find the kid because they burned his body. They got rid of him.
Yeah, they buried him.
They had his phone, but somehow they couldn't enter into his phone.
They couldn't get his password.
They couldn't get his password. They couldn't figure out how to get into his phone. Of course, we can send a man to Mars, a mission to Mars.
I'm actually signed up for a mission.
Right, but we can't open up an Apple iPhone to get a password, even with Apple volunteering to open up the phone.
Yes.
So you have to realize now this is all conspiracy theory. This is all he has obviously been sent by someone to do this deed. He just didn't pick up the rifle and do it himself.
No, of course.
Okay, so now you got a process of elimination. Is it anyone on the Republican side? No, because they were desperate to win. So why would they want to kill the one person that could actually get them the office back? Okay, no. So now, is it Trump himself? No, Trump's not retarded. He's not going to say, "Hey, listen."
He knew.
He's not going to say. He's not going to say, "Take a shot at me," and just get close enough to peg me somewhere so I bleed a little bit, so it'll look more realistic.
And trust a 20-year-old kid to
trust
do
a
it.
20-year-old kid to do it who was working in a nursing home serving slop.
So I think you could do it.
Right. Yeah. And then also, and then someone else gets killed in the crowd just by accident.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people believe
collateral damage.
So now, to me, the evidence turns to the DNC and the Biden administration because
they covered it up.
Feared this man. They feared this man running. What could happen? What could happen if he wins? They feared that they would lose power. They feared that things would be exposed that they were doing, which that's what Doge did. I mean, we had a list of where all your tax-paying money is actually going, right? So the bottom line, there's no theory anymore. The actual evidence is clear that the shooter was paid, funded, trained by someone in the Democratic Party, and liberal left, a socialist, an assassin. But the money and funding had to be coming from the Democratic side because they did not want this guy. They tried everything
to cut,
and they couldn't get rid of him. So the next thing is let's off him.
Yeah, and we can't get into his Apple iPhone.
Right. So, but there's evidence out there. They know who this kid is. They know what he's done. They've got information.
17 accounts. Right. That's amazing that they basically said he was a ghost.
But now my thing is, if we do have the information on this kid, why is it not released?
It is allegedly going to be released
along with the Epstein files.
Yes, that too.
Oh, good.
Okay. Yeah, Dave, what do you think about?
Just like the Kennedy files.
Well, the Kennedy files, there were people still alive, I guess.
Yeah.
So they couldn't do those. But there was a nice article on why Trump reversed course on the Epstein files. I'll get into that. But Dave, what do you think of the assassination attempt and how they found 17 accounts of this dude after saying he was a ghost, he acted alone, one man, he took a shot, 20 years old, not a military trained guy. Yet we're going to give him a rifle, send him on a rooftop, and just take a shot, try to get my ear, and if there's collateral damage, there's collateral damage. We'll deal with it, and then we'll just burn the body and bury it at sea.
So, is your question? Do I think that happened?
I hate when you do this. I hate it.
You didn't ask a question.
I give you. I gave enough information so you could give a comment or a retort. I didn't ask a direct question. The question would be, what is your opinion that they found 17 accounts on this person, that it did exist, that they weren't able to get into his phone or they stopped trying to, and they really buried this. A true conspiracy theory, a true cover-up that happened right in front of our eyes. What do you think about that happening in the U.S. of A? Is that a good enough question for you?
My question is this: covered up from Biden, not administration.
Yeah, they found the 17 different accounts that he had recently that apparently the Biden administration and the previous FBI director had found, but they clearly kept quiet. They didn't release that information. And now it's starting to trickle out that this person was not a ghost. This person had accounts. This person had a mind of his own. And there was much more behind it than obviously a 20-year-old nursing home employee climbing a rooftop with a rifle, taking a shot at Trump.
What is the evidence of that?
The 17 they found 17 different social media accounts about him. They found several posts that he made that were anti-Trump. And
no, I'm not doubting that. I'm saying that you're saying that there's a conspiracy that others were involved.
Well, there's a conspiracy that it was hidden by the FBI and hidden by
that
other
I would agree with. Yeah,
government officials.
They said nothing. Nothing even happened after.
Yeah. It was
So,
buried, and they buried him at sea.
Who helped him or didn't help him, whether he did it by himself or he didn't. I don't know any of that. All I know is that there was nothing done.
Well, weren't the Secret Service agents fired?
The head of the Secret Service agency was let go because she gave up the excuse that
Yeah.
we couldn't get up and inspect all the rooftops because the roofs were slanted. The pitch was dangerous. We didn't want to send guys.
And while the people were calling the police saying there's this guy scaling
There's a guy scaling the roof. We can't send anybody because the roof's slanted. Yeah, no.
Well, how about this? Did you see the thing with Charlie Kirk? They interviewed his head of security, and I can't think of the guy's name, but he's a famous podcaster. He interviewed his head of security, and he said he talked to wherever Utah Valley, whatever that school was located. He talked to the police and said, "Hey, do you have someone that's going to be in this stairwell? If not, we'll provide a person." The guy said to him, "We got it taken care of," and apparently, and that was it. And obviously, he didn't have it taken care of. No one was there, and someone climbed. So, it was obviously
It's unbelievable that they let that happen.
Because they're ordered.
I know they were ordered.
They were ordered to let this happen. That's part of the conspiracy theory.
Do you think they were ordered?
I don't know.
We want this man dead.
The Secret Service is in charge of protecting him. Listen, they sent the C Squad. They didn't give him the A or the B Secret Service squad. They sent the C Squad. They sent a bunch of women. Women that can't pull her gun out of her holster. They sent a woman who's 5'4" to shield a 6'4" president.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, it's insane. You know this was a setup all along.
I think it was a setup all along too.
It was a setup all along, and then afterwards,
well, I believe
I think
that
it's been set up for years.
the Democrats were. I don't know whether
they impeached her twice.
The shooter is part of it or not, but I'll say this. I believe that the Democrats gave him so little, the worst situation possible, that if something did happen, there was nothing that could be done. So I don't know if they had this particular guy set up. It seems like something was there. It does seem
group is
nothing would shock me. Nothing, absolutely nothing would shock me. The Democrats are supposed to be the party of, we were talking about in the pre-show, compassion and kindness. They seem to be the party of
honesty,
vitriol, and murder. That's what they seem to be the party of.
That's if they can't get their way, that's what they resort to. If they don't get their way.
That's the danger of the whole younger generation too, being so soft and so everything has to be, not want to work for everything. They don't understand.
Frank mentioned the sweat equity. Yes.
They don't understand that things are fucking hard all the time.
Well, they don't want it to be.
It never gets easy. This is one of the things you can't. The kids today, and maybe the last 25 years, I would say, or 20 years, you cannot get it into their head. Some reason in their head, they think that some point, it's all of a sudden just going to get easy.
It's going to happen. Yes.
It's never going to happen. They really believe that. Frank, correct me if I'm wrong. No, they all believe it.
I paid $500,000 for my college degree, so I am going to get.
Where's my job?
They want a compassionate ending. They want whatever they put in. They want a compassionate, and the compassionate ending is to be. Oh, let me give you.
They want the American dream.
Let me give you what you're looking for.
Yeah, no, the American dream is hard work.
Yeah,
that's what it used to be. It's not anymore.
Pretty house. That was the American dream originally. I got my piece of property.
They're waiting. You're in a long line, right? You're in a long line, and they're waiting for the compassionate guy. Excuse me, sir. You have your college diploma in basket weaving. We have a spot for you right up here. We'll let you pass the line and come on in ahead, because we need to be compassionate, because you know what? You tried really hard and you did a good job while you were there. You're such a good person, and we're going to get you. Yeah, they don't realize that. You know what? You get denied on 9 out of 10 applications, 90 out of 100 applications,
Yeah.
99 out of 1,000
Yeah.
applications. You're going to get denied. You're going to get turned away. You're not going to have the right credentials. You're not going to have the right teachings. You're not going to have the right energy, the right effort, the right mindset. You're going to have nothing of that. But they expect to get it right away as soon as they show up for that interview. It doesn't happen.
Well, because I have my
They
degree.
think everything is going to be like how you feel after you score a touchdown.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's how my whole life should be. It should be, I scored a touchdown. Oh, I feel so great.
I'm the greatest ever. Yes.
And then they're waiting for that another touchdown immediately, and another touchdown immediately after that, and another touchdown. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. That's
It's like they want the world to stop when they walk in. Attention, ladies and gentlemen of the workforce, please hold your work for a second. We have Jasmine Smith here, who has a doctorate degree in. Yes, please clap, please. We have Jasmine Smith, who has a doctorate degree in higher critical thinking, and she's applying for the 4 to 9 p.m. shift as a barista. And she just wants everyone to know that she's very overeducated for this job, but unfortunately, her attitude and her degree have gotten her nowhere in all of her interviews. So we welcome you on board, Jasmine, and start brewing some coffee. That's basically what they want. They want to be the center of attention because they got a diploma, because they actually
it's a degree.
Yeah, degree. Congratulations.
Yes.
Now go out and try to.
That's why I told you. That's why I told you. This one transfer portal in football.
Yeah, no.
Zero chance of that happening.
I agree with you. Yes. That's
zero. And I'll tell you why.
Because
the second that someone gets screwed,
Diego is going to get screwed
and this would be something I don't. Since if they never opened Pandora's box, it wouldn't matter. But since they opened Pandora's box, there's no way you're putting it back in saying, "Oh, now you got to tough it out at this school."
Well, the Supreme
Court, they're suing because
the Supreme Court sided with them 9-0.
The whole world is that way. So you're going to like all of a sudden tell people, no, you can't do this. Come on. It's such ridiculous. The problem with all of the younger kids is that not all of them, but a lot of younger kids have a hard time with the fact that everything is a competition. Okay. This is why they want socialism. Okay. Because they don't want to compete anymore.
No, they
don't want to compete. Because when everyone thinks that the mistake that everyone in society is, everyone thinks that the majority of time you win. No, the majority of time you lose.
Yes,
you lose in majority of, and if you happen to be somebody that wins, you're breaking even on the win game, you're probably wildly wealthy. Wealthy.
That's why
you lose way more than you win. You get 99 out of 100 job applications. Turned out, everyone's like, oh, there's all these fake job posts. I mean, nobody gets a job from fucking LinkedIn. Give me a.
Well, I got a job from LinkedIn.
You get bullshit jobs here and there from LinkedIn. Very rarely are you going to get a great job unless you're.
It's all about who you know. It's all
absolutely
it's all connections. That's
you need to be
care
connected to somebody. You need to have a network. You need to interact with people in order to have success. That's my point.
Dave,
they don't want that.
We were talking at Secretary's Cup, me and my buddy, right? But we both played at Division III school, and he's giving me different points and issues, and I'm like, how about this one? Would you rather be a player on a University of Alabama football team and never see a down, or be a 4-year starter at Division III Cortland State? And he's like weighing it out. Well, I'd probably rather be the starter on that. Really? Really, you would? So when you go into your job interview and you list Cortland State as your place of playing football, and the guy goes Portland State, and you're like, no, Cortland State. It's in New York. Or you list that you played on the University of Alabama football team. Who's getting into more doors?
Well, it depends where you are.
No,
obviously.
no.
And a degree from Alabama isn't.
It's not a degree from Alabama. You played football at the University of Alabama.
Okay.
As long as you're talking to a God-fearing, red-blooded American who loves football, they're going to give you the benefit of the doubt and take you for that position just because you had experience playing Division I college football for a guy. That's all it is. And that's the difference. Like you said, not about what you know, about who you know. You associate with the University of Alabama, Cortland State. Who the hell knows what that is?
No.
Now, once
you're
you get
right.
in, it is about your performance, right?
Correct.
Once you get in, now
Correct.
then, can you perform and then there you're still going to be evaluated like that. So you get this job.
The expectations are always going up.
Or you went to Harvard and you got a job or whatever, and they think, I got the job. That's it.
I'm done. Yeah, I can sit back and relax. Yeah.
Guess what? Now you got to perform again.
Yeah.
Take that
And then
Amazon.
the new boss comes in. Your boss gets fired for whatever reason.
Yep.
New boss comes in.
Yep.
He wants you to prove himself again to him because he don't know shit about you.
Yeah.
So you got to prove yourself to that boss. But they think that like it doesn't work that way. So it's very hard because the public school system reinforces that.
The public school system is
and social media does, not on purpose, honestly. I look at content creators, there's a wide variety of them.
There are, yes.
When you look at Mr. Beast and you say to yourself, as you're a kid and you see Mr. Beast, and you say, I can do what he does. He's not doing anything.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
That's the problem.
That's
okay.
The huge problem. Yeah.
Mr. Beast happened to have hit it. And by the way, I watched his story about what he did and how he did it. And, he was making video upon video upon video.
Yeah, you got to make content,
and
it takes years.
And then it hit, and then he had some ideas, and he capitalized on his opportunities. He capitalized. Correct. That's the other thing people don't realize. When it's hard to get opportunities. When you get an opportunity,
when you do,
it's a skill set to capitalize on it because there's a lot of people, and I'm not talking about as employees, but like as workers or entrepreneurs, it's very difficult to. An opportunity, you might see an opportunity and you may not be able to capitalize on it. There's a lot of people that are not able to capitalize. How many people walk around and say, oh, I had that idea? No shit. A lot of people had that idea. There is no new ideas. That guy over there fucking capitalized on that idea.
Right.
The Naked Women's Professional Basketball League?
Yes.
Well, no, I mean,
I just told my friend about that yesterday. I have $1 million
investor. Yeah,
I need an investor. I need to find an investor.
No, you're right though, because these opportunities come along when, like you and I, if we hit a show that goes big, then you have to follow it up with something that's even bigger, that's going to draw people in, that's going to be more, and that's where your opportunity is.
Sometimes you're too early. Sometimes you're too late. Sometimes you nail it. Sometimes you don't. That's part of so we got off on a tangent, but like I think that's the overall very difficult part of how just in general society where America is going, at least in the Northeast, maybe other big population areas. It's very hard to get that through to kids and young men and women. And they don't want to believe it when you say it to them. Now, they might say that our generations were worse than Frank, ahead of Frank generation, the generation in front of Frank. Like they might say that we're worse.
Well, everyone's was worse, and it's supposed to get better. We all want better for our kids.
You all want better for your kids, and what basically ends up happening is there's no way for the new generation to understand the older generation.
No.
It's almost impossible.
No.
Because in a modern era where you have so much affluence, okay, where the poorest person has a computer in their pocket.
Yeah.
Okay. The very poorest person has a computer in their pocket claiming they're poor. Yes, in America they're poor, but relative to the world, they're like they're insanely rich. So the issue is that you're never going to convince them and what happens is it becomes this trickle down thing, and people are like, oh, how do you get some of these crazy ideas ushered in? Because that's how it ends up that's how a Mandami or someone can allow crazy, like, to believe that Islam is the way. The reason why people would believe that Islam is the way is because they've fallen so far down the path
That's what
where
they
they
turn
have
to.
very little, and the only thing they think they will get is the community out
Yeah.
of Islam.
Yes, I understand you.
I
You.
understand. I'm going through the same bullshit that you're going through, and only Muhammad can help us get through this bullshit.
Yes,
Okay,
we have to
and then
stick
we all pray
together.
together, and we hate everybody that isn't us because we're the only ones going through this bullshit. It's a woe is me fucking situation. Okay, but it allows people who are either in bad situations to congregate and say, hey, how can we try to figure out how to be a little bit better in their world, and think that everybody else, by declaring everybody else the enemy. It's a terrible way to view the world in a lot of it, to me, in a lot of instances.
No, it is. It
It's
is.
a very,
And
very, it's a very, very not defeatist.
it's negative.
It's a lacking narrative that everybody's taking from
Hope.
us.
It's
And
hopeless.
this is all we have is us, and against them or these people, unless they're us, then we can't get along with them. That's a very, very lacking narrative.
And I talked to a few people at the UConn game, a friend of mine in Shank, and fresh Ned Von Young.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was saying that this generation especially should focus not on jobs. They need to become business owners, because
I agree with that.
Job opportunities are going to dry up.
But the
You're gonna
bottom
get
line
fired.
is this: people are. I
They
agree
don't want to put the work in.
Entrepreneurship, some small business ownership will be a good path for a certain amount of people. The bottom line is 99% of the people are not wired for that.
No.
Okay. It's not that they can't do it. They can. 99% of people wake up in the morning and that want to work will say, hey, I want to go get a job and a paycheck. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where 90 and go home and not have to worry worry about what the owner has to worry about. I don't think that entrepreneurship shit. I think in this world, it's becoming more necessary for you to get income. That's why you have the boom in freelancers. That's why you have the boom of short-term work. But I also think you got a lot of people that have chosen that path and have realized how hard that path is.
Yeah.
And they get even more angry.
They do. No, I mean,
you told me that being a freelancer was freedom. You told me that being an entrepreneur was freedom. No one told you that it's freedom. What we told you is that you can carve your own path.
It's an opportunity.
But it's a whole lot harder than going and working. If someone goes and works at Frank's Pizzeria, they don't own the pizzeria. They don't get the profits of pizzeria. But if they work hard, they can go in there, get a paycheck, get a decent paycheck. And at the end of the day, they see Frank, they go do whatever they want, and they don't have to think 1 minute about that pizza joint the second they leave.
Yep, exactly.
Until the next day. And then they work hard to do what they need to do. And then they don't have to think about it. And most people probably like that.
They do. For
whatever
the
job, whether it's white collar or blue collar, prefer that. It is the rare person that says, ask Frank, does he ever get to think about, oh, my life is so great because I own a restaurant? No, his life is more shit because of it, because he's an entrepreneur, because he takes on all the bullshit.
He has to deal with so many people.
I was going to write a documentary, write a book about it, The Greatest American Zero. That's all I can enjoy. You can't enjoy anything. You're depending,
you're on call.
And then I've got really good people. Actually, I could go away these 3 days and my dad was there and I'm lucky.
which you couldn't do before.
The average person can't do that if they own a business. The average person is there 24/7. I'm there a lot, but I pulled back a few years back and I made a decision. I can't do it 24 hours a day. I can't do it.
Well, you still go in the mornings and you make
I'm
the
there at 7 in the
dough
morning.
and everything.
I'm there at 7 in the morning until about 5:36, and then I'll come back home, and if there's something special, I'll go back down. Or maybe I gotta
You don't lock up usually anymore.
No, you don't.
Which is
I
good.
have people. That's not the point. The point is when you're in business, though, you are married to that business. So
Yes.
most of the time you're there. You want to be.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
you
your
take-
baby.
Take everything to heart. But
It's your baby. No, I mean, Fresh was talking about it. He was making a delivery for his laundromat. You know, he does all the dirty work because, you know, he can't get employees to stick around. And he mentioned the same thing that Frank did, where people will do the application, want to interview, and either ghost them or not take the job. They use it to
That's
get
the
for
challenge
unemployment.
and the beauty of running your own business is that
It
you
is.
are at the end
It
of the day.
amazes me that people would do that. That's like, to me, criminal.
I'm just saying, it's the beauty of it is that you're in charge. The negative of it is you're in charge.
right.
Yeah. No, you're the boss. That's what Couton said.
There's
when I talked
nothing
to
in
him.
life that doesn't have an upside or a downside. You listen, you go work for Frank, and you are the greatest pizza maker of all time. And Frank loves you, and he pays you a little bit more because you're that good. But at the end of the day, Frank owns the business. Okay,
right?
And if you like being the greatest pizza maker ever, but don't want the responsibility of running the business, you go and work for Frank. There are also some guys that might become the greatest pizza maker that works for Frank and say, you know what, I'm going to take that risk. And he goes.
Frank has had that happen. He's had people franchise his business before, right?
I'm saying
people take it on.
Yeah, it's not.
It's rare, I think. I bet you it's rare.
Work.
It is what it is.
Well, because there's only one you. I mean,
give me a topic. What do we talk? We have politics here. What do you got for me?
Do you want to talk about the Michigan thing or no?
No.
You don't want to talk about the Michigan?
No.
Okay.
No.
Right.
What happened in Michigan? Oh, Dearborn, the whole.
No, there was a viral thing that happened because somebody was asked how many genders are there, and the person answered, "Well, it depends on the person that you ask," and it went viral. It was on a college campus, and it went.
If you don't know by now, that and
it went viral. People were furious at his answer because he said it depends on who you ask, because he didn't obviously involve the gender people.
The transgender person is not a bad person. The problem is the transgender person suffers from some mental issues. That's all.
Okay. All right. How about this one? Wait, okay. You're leaving. Jamie Raskin, a Democrat in Maryland, said the Democratic Party would welcome Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene after the conservative congresswoman has been increasingly critical of her party in critical weeks, a comment that elicited boos from the crowd. She made comments while speaking at the 2025 Blue Bash Brunch Democratic fundraiser in Miami on Sunday, where he said his party has a big tent that welcomes all patriots who would stand up for the Constitution, and that's Marjorie Taylor Greene. Do you see her changing parties?
No, listen, we'll do a one-on-one swap. Give us Fetterman, we'll give you Greene.
Go take Fetterman.
She would really switch?
Huh?
You think she would switch?
She's a lunatic.
Yeah, she's a right wing. She's trying to make an effect with women, maybe to change around a little bit. What's that going to change? Her district's heavy Republican. They're going to still vote for her. I don't see a major switch happening.
By her battles with
she complained over the Epstein files not being
her
released.
battles with Trump are so off her. There's a few people that are off their rocker. You're right. I trade for Fetterman. Fetterman got jolted and decided that he's a Republican.
Did you see his face? You see his face from the fall? Oh my God, he had 20 stitches. He looks like his face looks like what Mike Tyson's tattoo looked like on his face. on his
Oh
head.
my God.
Oh my God, he fell. He must have fell face first. And I think, realistically, I'm being honest about that. When he had the stroke, I think it changed him. So it's changed him to where maybe he's a little more thoughtful. Because in the beginning, we were walking around, all the Republicans hated him. Oh, it's Shrek, and he doesn't dress up, and he has all these wild and crazy socialist ideas or far left ideas. And now after the stroke, he wins or has a stroke. He wins. Now he's in office. Now he's like, no, I support the Israelis, and I support, and all of a sudden the Democrats are like, this is insane. We don't want this guy. He's out of his mind. I mean, so take him over, swap it 1 for 1. That's all.
The other question is, now the government shutdown, it's not solved, but they extended the deadline.
Yeah.
Do you think that they will come to some sort of agreement next 60 days to get this thing going again? And people have asked, what is the future of the Affordable Care Act? What do you think is going to happen?
They'll get something signed. They have to. There's not going to be any benefit to either party, especially the Democratic Party, in doing another holdout. So the Affordable Care Act. Here's the thing with the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah,
they're going to keep the Affordable Care Act. They're going to try to make and put proposals to make changes to it. Instead of,
I said this too.
I sort of disagree the way they're going on this. What they want to do is they want to put cash in people's accounts to be able to pay the extras that may be on their medical coverage, instead of giving them grants or freebies and payments from the government to be able to lower the month-to-month cost. The problem is this: the average person in this country has an IQ of about 93.
We talked about this. Yeah.
So now you're going to tell me that you're going to give somebody money
93
to put into an account they may not even have. I know people that don't even have checking accounts.
You said that. You said your employees.
They don't have checking accounts. So you're going to tell me you're going to give them money to put into an account, and then they're going to go online and take the time to actually read the entire policy and read what needs to be paid month for month for the deductions or for co-pays or for that. And they're going to make payments all the time out of their account doing that. I don't see that happening. So I still think the ACA needs to be tweaked, but it needs to be kept. It needs to be done in the correct way. How to do that? That's where those guys got to sit down and hash it out, because you can't there's some things that American citizens can't do. The average citizen can't do that. I'm telling you right now, they can't do that.
I agree.
Higher educated citizen can. You walk the streets and you're going to tell me you're going to find people that are going to do this just walking on common streets? Absolutely.
Dave, let me ask you, because I've talked to several insurance guys who say they're afraid to put people in the Affordable Care Act or Medicaid because they do not know the future of it. They don't know where it's going, and they think it's going into the toilet. So they don't want to put them in policies with premiums that they can't predict how it's going to shake out. What do you think is the future of the Affordable Care Act and Medicaid?
I don't know. I really don't.
No idea.
I have no idea. I do not know.
But you think it'll still exist in some form?
I think Obamacare has destroyed the health insurance industry.
What?
Destroyed
it?
Yeah. It's destroyed healthcare.
Really?
It's destroyed healthcare. Yeah.
You think it's destroyed healthcare?
Yeah.
Frank?
I think it's set the cost of healthcare so high right now.
Oh yeah, it is.
That's what's eating up from the inside out. I mean, bottom line, the ones that are making money are the insurance companies. This is why they want to put money into each person's account. They want to eliminate the third party carriers or negotiators to go in there and take 30%, 40% of what's being spent. So I understand the Republican side. I get it. I understand the Democratic side. What's going to happen? You got over 40 million people that use this, 43, 44 million that use it. What's going to happen to those that get those subsidies to be able to have an affordable? And listen, I pay right now, I pay $23,000 a year for medical coverage for my family.
Right, for everyone.
Okay,
yeah.
So I mean, that's a lot of money.
No, it is.
If I'm pulling in, let's say if I pull in $100,000, that's 23% of my gross
just going to healthcare
income. Right? I mean, so.
And is it good coverage? Would you say
it's not bad? It's a silver coverage. I mean, I got a decent copay. I got decent deductibles. That I got my your prescription costs. You don't get any dental. You don't get any eye care.
No,
get
you
none of
don't.
that.
Yeah.
So really, what are
That's
you
actually-
getting? So why not do the revolutionary moment right now,
What you said.
which would be full medical coverage for every person.
Universal health care. Yes.
Universal health care of everything.
That's what you want. Yeah.
Eyes,
Ears,
hearing,
yeah.
dental, everything. Figure it out across the board what you need to raise money-wise, okay, and how you need to raise money-wise. I'm sure no Democrat and no Republican would complain if $300 to $400 to $500 billion coming a year into tariffs would go into medical coverage. I'd rather see that go to cover the
I agree.
deficit, but people need health coverage.
They do.
Okay, they need prescription. They need low prescription costs, very low prescription costs. They need,
People can't get their drugs.
right. So
Right, you know?
this could be an aha moment for the Republican Party to actually say we do care about the American people. We're not here just to cut stuff. We're not here to trim. We're not here to hurt. We are going to start Trump Care, and Trump Care is going to cover everything, and we're going to make it work. We're going to figure it out. And I'll tell you, at that point, that's when the Democrats say, no, universal health care is terrible because it's named Trump Care.
Yes.
Right? They would be, we're against universal
Yeah, because
coverage.
they get rid of Obamacare. It's Trump care.
Right, it's Trump Care. Trump Care.
That's how you
Absolutely
would
not.
trump them. No pun intended.
Right. So I think this could be, there are several points in time right now. They could have aha moments and just really set the tone for the Republican Party for the next 20 years. Because if they come up with a better version, Obamacare is great, but that doesn't cover everything.
No,
Right?
it doesn't.
So now,
Negative of the old adage, which I really for the longest time agreed with, is that you needed competitive.
Tariffs are taxes. They're raising. Okay. I was just reading a comment by Dan Byers.
what's the comment?
Tariffs are taxes. They raise prices on Americans. That's why Trump is rolling back tariffs on beef and coffee. Y'all need to lay off the gaslighting.
No, there's no gaslighting.
Sorry,
whatsoever.
Dan.
He is pulling back on those certain items because we're trying to lower the food is the one major cost where people are coming and complaining about. He's trying to lower the main staples that are higher right now, and not totally due to tariffs too. I mean, I think American beef farmers are one thing. They've cut back on production. They said they've had a slowdown in calves raising all that. So the meat cost has gone through the roof. It's crazy. Coffee, yes, I understand that the tariff's high. Tariff is a tax. We do pay it. But bottom line, if those tariffs go to paying off the deficit, go to full medical coverage for everyone in this country, that would be a good thing. That would be acceptable. Have no problem with it. Now, companies also have to realize that they're going to swallow some of that tariff. They're not going to pass on the entire amount over to the consumers because with fair competition, there's going to be more than one company. You're going to have to stay competitive as far as selling your products. So they're going to keep those tariffs at a meaningful level and not choke the public. The problem is that I talked about it 3 different times in the show, and no one seems to still get it. The only reason your costs are up higher, okay, is because the minimum wage went up.
He says the deficit is rising at the highest rate in history.
The deficit has risen all along. Yes.
Yeah, it's never
just
said to slow
No. We were balanced at one point under the Clinton administration. We were.
Okay.
So I'm not. There's no way I'm not defending. I'm not attacking that whatsoever. But bottom line, the deficit.
I don't know if
is
you get back on that and balance in the budget. I think that healthcare, when it actually was for competitive, you actually there's no competitiveness anymore. It's
No.
like it's an
You're stuck with what you're stuck with.
you're stuck with a handful of firms setting prices on things, and there's
and you can't go out of state. Well, the ACA doesn't allow you to go out of state.
No.
If there's a company in California that's offering a much better policy, you can't go and get it in New York because you're stuck in New York.
And that's part of the problem. Is and people who have like real serious diseases like cancer and stuff. How do you go leave your state? You can't go to Sloan Kettering in New York, or I'm saying, like you're stuck. So I don't know. I mean, that would be complete socializing the healthcare system. I don't know what the consequences of that would be.
How you would make it work.
Well, the problem is what Canada goes through. Canada's socialized medicine.
Well, you just have to wait 8 months to see a doctor.
The wait times are huge. The doctors are fixed. It's not like you can go and choose the best doctor in the area.
Right,
or anything,
correct. You're stuck
and the emergency room
Oh,
visits are
my
forever.
God.
If you got to get a CAT scan, it's a 6 to 8 month process. So that's socialized medicine in a way. I think we could still make that work here in the United States as far as covering everyone.
I think we could work it better. Yeah, I agree.
We can. There's ways to no. We have to get the partisanship out of the way. And you have to sit down and talk and figure out where income streams could come in the future, right? Where we could trim in the future to not be able to have money come out of the government and instead pour it into medical coverage. Hey, listen, if Doge found 400 million or 400 billion of money floating around, that's 400 billion every year that instead of going to overseas causes can go into the medical coverage. If Trump's pulling in 300 billion in tariffs a year or 400 billion, there's another 300 or 400 billion. You got 800 billion right there. They said, what's it going to be?
Yeah.
1 trillion a year or 1.2 trillion a year more for universal coverage? You're almost there.
And if we get rid of coverage for the illegals, then we get there.
That's a possibility too.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. There are ways to work the numbers. There are ways.
Yeah. So, Dave, I'll finish on this. There were several comments about the Democrats obviously winning with, we talked about Mamdani. We talked about the governor in Virginia and the governor in Jersey, Mikey Sherrill, who won. Do you think that this is going to have a revolutionary effect on the midterm elections next year? Because that's what several commenters mentioned, that this is just the beginning.
Too early to know.
You really think it's too early to know?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
We don't know how the tariffs will take effect or not take effect. Too early to know for me.
Yeah, you don't know who's running.
Yeah.
You also have to realize those wins. Granted, there's some small seats in Mississippi that's flipped over to them, but those wins were in predominantly Democratic states. New York City, Democratic city.
Yeah.
New Jersey, a Democratic state. Virginia's purple, maybe a little bit like that, but show me down the road who the candidates are, and then we'll see who's going to win or lose.
Was Adams a Democrat?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Originally, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, another banner episode of Rebel Republic. Lowell, you guys crack me up. Dan, I am here for your amusement. I am so happy that I crack you up, and we're trying to spread the revolution, one person at a time. And if we changed your mind, then we had a successful show. That's all that counts.
I think he's making fun of you.
Good luck to y'all. Do you do some research? Yes, we do research. We do a lot of research, Dan.
None whatsoever.
If
Just
you
throwing facts out there.
We'll give you $1,000 a week if you want to do research, Dan. You want $1,000 a week?
Research isn't hard. You just go and ChatGPT and get
right. Get all the right answers.
Yeah, Dan. We'll do whatever we want to have you come aboard. We want a researcher or a producer like you to be part of this show because you believe in us, and I appreciate that. I appreciate your support. You're wonderful, and I wish you all the best.
He's telling you to go make fun. To go after yourself.
No, I know he is. He said that we made so many errors and we're awful.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dan. I didn't mean.
At least you're listening. We've got 5 comments for you. You've helped us with the algorithm. I appreciate it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I try to listen. I'm not trying to make errors, Dan. Can you make me better? I mean, would you talk to me? So I want to be educated. I want to be educated so I can be a better host.
Name me one error.
Well,
just put one error on the stream here right now, please.
Yeah, I'd like to see. Yeah, can you show? Would you mind revealing? You don't have to reveal like 10.
Yeah, right.
Can you reveal one error that we've made?
One.
Other than the tariffs being taxes and
tariffs are taxes. We agreed with that. There's no questioning that whatsoever.
Yeah, Dan, come on. We'll
guys
we'll wait.
make a
We'll
lot
wait.
of
We'll give you a
errors.
couple minutes. We'll give you a couple minutes. Come on.
Yeah,
I'd love to see what you have.
We got time.
I'd love to see what you have for us. And, it's important to me to make our viewers happy. And if you are disgruntled and you don't think that I'm doing enough research, I want to be that guy. I want to be the best. I'm the best podcast host in the universe. And if you're not feeling that, then, please help me. I'll do whatever it takes.
It's coming any second now.
Do you have anything?
The errors.
Any errors?
The missed
Any
numbers.
errors?
The
Was
errors of your way, you
the
lousy
error-
Republican.
The error on Ukraine, was that wrong? Marjorie Taylor switching, was that wrong? The young people wanting to open businesses and having things handed to them, was that wrong? I'm just trying to think. No. All right. Well, Dan, if you come up with anything, please feel free to message us.
Send it by Pony Express.
Yes, please mention it to us. I'd love for you to be our producer. It's $1,000 a week, and you can help educate me and I'll show me how to do research, because I don't want to fail at that. So we appreciate your input. Your value to this show is unprecedented. So for the voice of reason,
Yes.
Frank Cristiano, he was the voice of reason. Dave Schumann, who did not yawn, and we managed to get him fired up and have some attention. I'm Steve Gully, the best podcast host in the universe. This has been Rebel Republic. And remember, you're either with us or you're against us. And when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. You take 2 oranges.